Now, if you haven't heard the name yet, you probably will before the midterms. Graham Platner is a candidate running for Democratic nomination in next year's contest for one of Maine's 2 Senate seats. And he's garnered a lot of support from the left for his populist economic message.
But a little less than 8 months out from that primary election, Platner's already in hot water for a tattoo of a skull and crossbones that some say resembles, or just not even resembles, but is the Nazi Totenkopf, a symbol used by the SS and often found in neo-Nazi iconography.
Now, Platner, for his part, says fellow Marines picked out the tattoo for him while in Croatia and claims that he didn't know it so closely resembled a Nazi symbol. Here he is on Pod Save America.
We got very inebriated, and we did what Marines on liberty do, and we decided to go get a tattoo. And we went to a tattoo parlor in Split, Croatia, and we chose a terrifying looking skull and crossbones off the wall because we were Marines, and skulls and crossbones are a pretty standard military thing. I mean, I went to college, I went to the gym, I did all the things, and at no point in this entire experience of my life did anybody ever once say, "Hey, you're a Nazi."
Platner says he's already covered up the tattoo, but according to reporting by the Jewish Insider, a former acquaintance did say they recall Platner referencing the Nazi symbol on one occasion. Quote, he said, "Oh, this is my Totenkopf." The former acquaintance told Jewish Insider he said it in a cutesy little way. This all comes after several past Reddit posts of Platner surfaced, where he reportedly used a slur that is offensive to those with special needs, referred to himself as a communist, disparaged police officers, said rural white Americans actually are racist and stupid, but Platner also addressed those comments on Pod Save America.
That was me trying to get a rise out of people on the internet. Those are not reflective of those weren't even reflective of my opinions back then. As I interact with people directly, as I hold town halls, as I get myself out there more, people are going to recognize that this is not at all the person that they've come to know and come to interact with in reality.
Now, in the wake of these scandals, some on the left are saying this is clearly an attempt to smear Platner with embarrassing stories. Matt Stoller writes on X, quote, "The reason anyone pretends to care about Platner's tattoo and Reddit posts is because they think he's coming after the rich. That's it. That's all it's about. They hate populists because we actually believe in equality, and that terrifies them." And Ryan Grimm, a reporter at Dropsite News, wrote on his own post, "I will take the internet's word that that's a Nazi symbol, but if you're looking at it from the wall of a parlor with the internet, it looks more Grateful Dead than Nazi."
Conservatives, however, have been quick to point out apparent hypocrisy on the left. My colleague at Reason, Billy Binion, writes, "Am I going crazy? Elon Musk waved at an audience in January and it inspired a national news cycle because people said it resembled a Nazi salute. Meanwhile, a Democrat gets a tattoo he allegedly called his Totenkopf, and it's no big deal. What kind of standard is that?" And of course, Scott Jennings had this to say on CNN.
This guy is the favorite of the radical left base of the Democratic Party. They're standing by him despite the fact he has a literal Nazi tattoo on his chest, and he's made abhorrent comments in some of these Reddit threads that he's been involved in. They are unwilling to walk away from it because they want the candidates who are the most radical and the most progressive, and they're willing to put up with Nazi symbolism and other terrible remarks because of it. This is their guy.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is. It's actually crazy. Bye, Platner. You should get out. Yeah, you should go. This is a very firm stance. It's not even like some swaying on this. Like these Reddit posts, and I know you don't like to dig in archival posts, but these are from 2009 to 2021. So it ain't that archival. Mm-hmm. He's talking about military sexual assault survivors and being disrespectful. He, like you said, bashed police. He called rural white Americans racist and stupid. He said black people don't tip. I mean, he made fun of all. He's like equal opportunity disrespectful. And so this doesn't just come as somebody who also has a Nazi tattoo that they reference, and then all of a sudden you change your stance. Like, I don't believe him. I think he should go. And I think that that's bad. But I also think, key point, Republicans should stop pretending like they don't have people in their party that they also need to condemn. For example, Representative Dave Taylor in Ohio, who had a swastika displayed within a flag in his office that is now currently being investigated. Okay, there was an American flag with a swastika in the middle of it.
Well, that was absolutely contemptible.
And he needs to go.
Staffer did that, and
whoever it is, the staffer or him needs to go. Also, we're talking about Trump's nominee, Paul Ingracia,
withdrawn. Republicans said they wouldn't support him, and he's gone.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to go. So the same way I can just say this guy should get out of the race. Platner should go. Yeah. I didn't know who he was 6 months ago. I don't need to know who he is in 6 months. It's all fine to me. That's what I want to make sure. But I don't want all these conservative outlets saying, oh my gosh, you're never calling it. Like, no, this is wrong. And so was the many things that I just named from Republicans. And I think there's been a rise in attacks and anti-Semitism, as many studies have shown over the last few years. And so that should be attributed to not one party, to both parties. And we should be intentional about stop using words and overusing terms like this is fascist, and we should stop doing all that. And I stay consistent in that stance. I was,
frankly, to be totally fair to him, and there's been past examples where somebody said, oh, that's a Nazi tattoo. Remember, there's this viral story of this expert calling out this random Marine on social media saying they have a Nazi tattoo, and it was not a Nazi tattoo. So I actually approached this subject with extreme skepticism.
Because you believe somebody could just get a skull and bones tattoo.
Well, it's a pirate symbol. People do get it. That is actually not crazy. And his story about drunkenly wandering into a tattoo parlor in Croatia, well, actually there is a lot of ex-Nazi behavior in Croatia anyway. But getting the tattoo and not knowing it, I was not thinking this is totally unbelievable, but then when you have the report that he referred to it as his Totenkopf, that suggests knowledge of the deeper meaning, the contextual.
And then you have many instances on Reddit where he's also aligning himself.
So that's when it starts to, again, I would have been okay with benefit of the doubt up to a point, but that is really damning. Some of the stuff he said on Reddit I don't care about. It's a long time ago anyway, and I don't really like to, hang people for this kind of thing. But as you said, some of it's more recent. Some of it's pretty nuts. I guess this candidate's not going to make it to prime time, which I know is sad for the left because they thought he's a sincere and interesting populist, unlike, what's her name, Janet Mills, who's this old.
I know you want to see the younger generation.
Old, boring lady who's, not interesting at all and is not going to win against I'm blanking on Susan Collins.
Don't you think that, you had a tattoo that's 20 years old and then you jump into politics at this big age, right? He's an adult now.
Yeah.
So you don't think that you would have crossed your mind in any point? No one has ever referenced it to you that your tattoo might be inappropriate to cover your tattoo or atone for it prior to being called out?
I like the idea of drunken ex-sailors jumping into politics.
Yeah, but it makes me overall question his judgment, credibility, discernment. So why would I want somebody like that leading me when you might have all those flaws, but saying something on the campaign trail that might match a strategy I think is effective?
To give voice to the Ryan Grimm and Matt Stoller perspective. Ryan Grimm used to co-host the show a long time ago. I think their view is that the safe establishment option is dangerous too. It just represents a different kind of hazard for our party. And if we just, clutch our pearls and make unelectable every single person with a colorful background, we just end up with these replacement level candidates.
But there are instances where I'm happy to see that Republicans, like you said, with Ingracia, Republicans stand up and say this is not okay. And I think that Democrats should do the same thing. Like, this man has several, it's not like one thing that could be misunderstood. Right. It's like several instances. And even though the Reddit parts don't bother you, they bother his constituents. They bother people that he would speak to and engage with and represent. And so that's a big problem.
Well, right. If the mainstream media, liberals and Democrats are just going to point fingers and go, Nazi, 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 everyone's a Nazi, Elon Musk is a Nazi, everyone's a Nazi, then you got to have some squeaky clean candidates of your own, I guess. And so someone who just had a Nazi tattoo and referred to it as such should not be the candidate then, if that's what you're going to do. And I don't know. Do you ever get a bad tattoo you regret, Lindsay?
No, I like all my tattoos.
You like your tattoo? You got tattoos?
And none of them are incendiary in any way. So I'm really happy about them. Yeah, I made good choices even as a 21-year-old. Maybe I should run for politics.
Maybe you should run, Lindsay.
Yeah, maybe I should get into politics all the way and be like, what should I do?
That's for you.
Join the Texas race with Jasmine Crockett? After she wins, I can follow behind her.
I guess so.
They'll be looking for another woman of color to take the seat right after her.
There are two things I will never do. One is get a tattoo. Two is run
you don't
for
have
office.
Any tattoos?
No.
I have about 4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah. They're all hidden, though. Look, you guys let me know where they are.
We learn new things every day. Lots more to talk about on Rising. Please stay with us.